Hi guys, good morning. So by now we all should have the unit circle in our notes. So this is something that you should have. Remember that we did it on Friday. You sent me a picture of it. For those students that were absent on Friday, you can still turn it in. So this is the unit circle. You can find it. You can just Google unit circle, and then you're gonna find a lot of unit circles. All of them have the same information: degrees, angles in degrees, in radians, and the coordinate point for each of the angles in the unit circle. So I'm gonna be referring to this unit circle for this video. We're gonna do some problems, and we're gonna be using the unit circle. Okay, so let's have it with us so we can solve the problems. So problem number 1, it's asking us to find the cosine of 135. So I'm gonna start with something very easy. Cosine of 135. If we go back to the unit circle, well, first of all, we know that cosine is the x. That is something that you must know. You always check what is the trigonometric equation or function that they are asking us. So they're asking us for cosine. Cosine is the x, and then the angle is 135. So we're gonna go to the unit circle and we're gonna go to 135. 135 is this angle right here. This is 135, or 3 pi over 4, and cosine is the x, so the x coordinate will be this one right here, and we just have to copy it. So cosine is negative radical 2 over 2, and that's it. Very easy question. The next one, it is asking us to find tangent of 3 pi over 4. We know that tangent is tangent is y over x. Tangent is y over x. Keep that in mind. The angle is 3 pi over 4. So let's go to the unit circle. 3 pi over 4. I'm going to erase this, and I'm going to find 3 pi over 4. And 3 pi over 4 is same angle, which is 135. The coordinate point is negative square root of 2 over 2, comma square root of 2 over 2. We're going to do the y over x. So the y is square root of 2 over 2 divided by the x is negative square root of 2 over 2. Since we're dividing the same thing, but there's a negative there, the answer should be -1, simple. Okay, it's two problems that are very easy because both angles, these angles that I am giving you guys, are in the unit circle. Next problem. Sine of 225, sine is the y. I'm gonna go to 225, and I'm gonna erase this so we don't get confused. 225, if we look through the unit circle, 225 is right here. And we have the coordinate, and the sign is the y, so the y is this right here, which is negative square root of 2 over 2. Simple. Again, it is easy because the angles given are on the unit circle. Next problem, cosine of -5 pi over 4. I know that cosine is the x, so I just need to find where -5 pi over 4 is. First of all, I don't have on my unit circle any negative angles, but I can still figure it out. So -5 pi over 4. I'm gonna go back to my unit circle. I'm gonna erase what I have. On my unit circle, I see 5 pi over 4, which is this one right here. Well, I don't want 5 pi over 4. I want -5 pi over 4. But I'm just going to refer to it so I can show you that positive 5 pi over 4 is half of a circle, and then, I'm sorry for what happened here. It's half of the circle and then 2 more, right? 2 more like angles. So it's half of a circle and 2 more, and then you get to 5 pi over 4. Well, now we want -5 pi over 4. So instead of going counterclockwise, half of a circle and 2 more, because it is asking us for the -5 pi over 4, I am going clockwise, half of a circle and then 2 more. half of a circle and then 2 more. So negative 5 pi over 4 is the same thing as the angle 135 or 3 pi over 4. This is negative and then 2 lines more. Negative circle or negative half of a circle and then 2 more. So this is the same thing as negative 5 pi over 4. It wasn't on the unit circle, but I could still calculate, or I could still check where the angle lies, and it lies where the 135 lies. Now, it was asking us for the cosine, so it is asking us for the x. So negative square root of 2 over 2 is the answer. So negative means clockwise rotation. You go clockwise rotation. And we are done with that problem. The next problem is sine of 9 pi over 4. I know that sine is y. 9 pi over 4 is not on the unit circle. 9 pi over 4. If I go to the unit circle, I don't see it. I don't see 9 pi over 4. I don't see 9 pi over 4. I can change 9 pi over 4 to degrees. And I can do 9 pi over 4 times 180 divided by pi. The pi's will cancel out. And then you can do 9 times 180 divided by 4. So you get 9 times 180 divided by 4. And you get 405 degrees. So 9 pi over 4 is the same thing as 405. This is one complete rotation. It's one complete rotation because one rotation is 360. So it is 360 plus 45 degrees. So it's one complete rotation because it is 360 degrees. 360 plus the 45. 360 plus the 45 gives you 405. So to go to 405 degrees, you will go one complete rotation plus 45. One complete rotation plus 45. And we're looking for the y. Okay? So I'm going to go to my unit circle. I'm going to go one complete rotation plus 45 degrees. So 405 lies right there. And it is asking us for the y, so this is the y. Square root of 2 over 2. So the answer is square root of 2 over 2. It is the y of the 45. So 9 pi over 4 is the same thing as 405. And to get to 405, you go 360 plus 45. So even if the angles are not clearly, if you cannot see them on the unit circle, you can change them to degrees and check how many rotations it goes, and then go to, in this example, 45. So you go one complete rotation plus 45. So that means that 405 lies where 45 degrees is. Okay. So cosine of 150, I know that cosine is x. Cosine of 150, and I believe 150 is in the unit circle. So let's go and check. 150 is right here. It is in the unit circle. And we're looking for the x. I believe it was the x. So negative radical 3 over 2. Negative radical 3 over 2. Okay. So that is the cosine of 150. Very easy. Sine of negative 30 degrees. Sine of negative 30 degrees. Sine is the y. Negative 30 degrees. Sine of negative 30 degrees. Just check that it is not 30 degrees, it's negative. So I have a negative here. Remember that negative means clockwise rotation. Clockwise rotation. So I'll go to my unit circle. And instead of going clockwise rotation, counterclockwise to 30, instead of going to 30 degrees, I am going negative 30 degrees. Negative 30 degrees is right here. Negative 30 degrees. I am going 30 degrees, but in the negative direction. So this is negative 30 degrees, which is the same thing as 330. It is the same thing as 330. And the sign is the y, so negative 1/2. And that is our answer, negative 1/2. So sine of negative 30 is the same thing as the 330 degrees. It lies in the same direction, 330. And then we have, I think, 2 more. Tangent of 5 pi over 4. Tangent of 5 pi over 4 is, well, the tangent is y over x. And let's see if 4 pi over 3. Let's see if 4 pi over 3 is on the unit circle. 4 pi over 3. 4 pi over 3, it is on the unit circle. 4 pi over 3, it's 240. And this is the coordinate. So 4 pi over 3 will be negative square root of 3 over 2 divided by negative 1/2. So it will be negative radical 3 over 2 over negative 1/2. The 2's you cancel out. The negatives, you cancel them out. So it is just square root of 3 over 1, which is just square root of 3. So we're done with tangent of 4 pi over 3. We're done with tangent of 4 pi over 3. Okay, so now we're gonna be doing the last one of these problems. This one is sine of 7 pi over 6. Sine is the y. And we're gonna see if 7 pi over 6 is on the unit circle. So I'm gonna go to the unit circle. I'm gonna erase this part. And 7 pi over 6 is right here. It was on the unit circle. And the sign is the y, so negative 1/2. Negative 1/2 is the answer. So again, if you have the unit circle, then you can do any angle and any trigonometric function from any angle. So that's why I was telling you guys that you really need to have your unit circle with you so you can get all these answers correct. You can answer any of these type of questions because you have your unit circle. Now we're gonna have another different questions also about the unit circle, but it is asking us to find something different, okay? So this is another question. We have given, or this is given, cotangent of data equals -3. Sine of an angle, sine of the same angle actually, is greater than 0. So in this case, sine of the angle greater than 0 means that the sign is positive, okay? It's the same thing as greater than 0. The question is, find the remaining trigonometric functions, because right now the only function given is cotangent. So that means that we want to find sine of theta, cosine of theta, tangent of theta, secant. Before secant I have tangent, I have cotangent, but cotangent is given, secant, and cosecant. So we want to find all these 6 trigonometric functions with the given information. With this given information, we need to figure everything out. Okay, we know that cotangent is equals -3, so I can put that one there. Cotangent is -3. I'm gonna do my xy plane, so I think if we do that, it's easier for us to solve it. Cotangent is x over y. Cotangent is x over y. So that means that x over y equals -3, because it's given. Cotangent is equals -3, so then x over y equals -3. So that means that I can put the -3 over 1, right? Because -3 is the same thing. -3 is the same thing as -3 divided by 1. So that means that the x is -3 and then the y is 1. So I'm gonna go to my xy plane, and since x is -3, that's -3, and then the y is 1, so right there. So I can get 1 point there. Like that. So I know that x equals -3, y equals 1. But what about the radius? What about the radius that we have there? We don't know what the radius of the circle is. We don't know the hypotenuse. We don't know that side. So we need to find that side. Now we're gonna have a unit, a right triangle, and we know the right triangle follows the Pythagorean theorem, which is x squared plus y squared equals r squared, right? I know my x, I know my y, I don't know the radius, or I don't know the hypotenuse. The radius is the hypotenuse, so I don't know the hypotenuse. So I need to find that hypotenuse. So x is -3, so we want to square it, plus y is 1, we want to square that, and we're going to solve for r. -3 squared is 9, 9 plus 1 is 10, so 10 equals r squared, but we can just square root, so that means that the radius is square root of 10. Or the hypotenuse of the triangle, if you want to see it like that. The hypotenuse is square root of 10. So we know we know what my x is, we know what my y is, and we know the r, which is square root of 10. I am doing that because I need to find all the 6 trigonometric functions. And I know that sine is, on the unit circle, I know that it was y. But in any circle, sine is y over r, and cosine is x over r, and tangent is y over x. Cotangent is given. Secant is r over x, and cosecant is r over y. How do I know that? Well, we know it because we did it. We did it last week. I can go back and show you the slide that we did. It was the first thing that we did. So remember, it was this. So we got that sine was y over r, that cosine was x over r, and then we have tangent and cotangent and secant and cosecant. So that's why I'm putting that as our answers, or as the setup. So then the only thing that I have to do now is set up or find my answer. So sine is y over r. Y is 1. R is square root of 10. X is negative 3 over. The radius is square root of 10. Tangent is y over x. So 1 over negative 3. Cotangent is done. Secant is r over x. So square root of 10 over negative 3. Cosecant is r over y. R is square root of 10. Y is 1. So I can find any trigonometric function if they give me one trigonometric function. In this case, they gave me cotangent. And then they told me that sine was positive. Sine was positive. Remember that sine is a y. And that's good because y is 1. So that satisfied the condition. So again, we can find any trigonometric function, or all of them. We actually can find all of them if one is given to us. Okay, and we use the Pythagorean theorem to get the missing information. Why am I using the Pythagorean theorem? Because on the xy plane, I can get my right triangle going. Because two sides were given to me, side x and side y. I just need to find the hypotenuse, and we call it r in this case. We call the hypotenuse the radius of your circle. Okay. So let's continue now with another problem, and I think this is the last one that we're gonna be doing. For this problem, it is telling us that cosine is less than 0. Cosine less than 0 means that the x, because cosine is the x, less than 0 means negative number, okay? Cosine is negative. Cotangent is greater than 0. Cotangent greater than 0 is, cotangent is x over y. Cotangent is x over y, so that is greater than 0. That means that x over y is positive. So this is something that is given. X is negative, but x over y is positive. Name the quadrant in which the angle data lies in. So I need to do my xy plane. With this information, I can know where my angle is. It is not asking me to actually solve for the angle. It is not asking me to change it to degrees or to find it in radians. It is asking me just to find where it lies. If it lies in quadrant 1, or in quadrant 2, or in quadrant 3, or in quadrant 4. Where is data located? Knowing that x is negative and x over y is positive. Well, since x is negative and x over y is positive, remember, x is negative, so this is negative. Then that means that this y, in order for the whole thing to be positive, then the y also has to be negative. Why? Why am I assuming that? Because negative divided by negative becomes positive. Okay? I know for sure that x was negative and y also has to be negative. So when I divide that, the whole answer is positive. So x is negative, y is negative. This is my key. Where, in which quadrant is x negative and y negative? In which quadrant the x is negative and the y is negative? Well, in quadrant number 3. In this quadrant, the x is negative and the y is also negative. So in which quadrant does data lie? Then it lies in quadrant 3. And that's it, quadrant number 3. Again, let me know if you have any questions about this, but this is what we're gonna be doing. Now, we already, by doing these problems, this whole lesson, we are practicing for the first quiz. So this is we're gonna have a mid-unit quiz. So we're gonna have mid-unit quiz. So a mid-unit quiz for this unit, which is unit 4. It is going to be on Wednesday, guys. It is going to be on Wednesday because on Tuesday you're going to be taking the ACT. I don't know if all of you guys are going to be taking the ACT, but some of you guys or most of you guys are going to be taking the ACT. So on Tuesday, since we're taking the ACT, we are not going to have class, because some students or most of the students will have the ACT. So no video, no assignment for Tuesday. That's why our mid-unit quiz will be on Wednesday. Mid-unit on Wednesday. And of course, for the mid-unit, you will have to get your unit circle and you will have to study what we did today to do that mid-unit quiz. Okay, thank you for watching, guys. And then after this, you will have some problems to do as an assignment. Thank you.